Hello, Answers. It's Minx, and it's time for another Once Upon a Time review. We're reviewing episode 19, so make sure you've actually watched that before you watch this video because I'm going to spoil the heck out of it. This episode was largely Regina and Zelina centric, and it delves into the issue of them being sisters and trying to reconcile that in their adult lives. We end up finding out that they actually had met at one point in their past when they were children, and found out that they were sisters then, which cheered Regina up significantly. And then, of course, Cora had to throw a monkey wrench in that and, separated them again and caused them both to forget in a very similar fashion to what she tries to do to Zelina in present day. Pretty much the group is trying to figure out how to keep her from hooking up with creepy Uncle Hades, and Regina pretty much is like, well, let me talk to my mother because she's the only person who can talk any of us out of anything. So she goes and kind of rescues Cora from her Hades-imposed milling life. That's an example, actually, of the personalized hells that Hades often makes people, because when people do not make it into Elysium, or they're stuck in the fields of Asphodel, if he actually punishes you, he gives you a personalized version of hell, which I thought was cool that they actually showed that. Just the constant milling of milling flour. So anyway, rescues Cora and, tells her what's going on, and she's like, well, we'll make her forget that he even exists. Because, yeah, that's not going to go wrong. Eventually, the jig is up. They all have some discussions. Regina's just like, you're my sister. I'm trying here. And Cora actually then reveals to them, she unlocks their memories of the fact that they did know each other as children. Which was a very un-Cora-like thing to do. And the fact that she kind of accepted her fate, that she's dead. She's, obviously not getting out of Hades anytime soon. And, yeah, so they actually managed to get Cora to cross over. I'm surprised they didn't do a shot of the clock tower ticking again. Because, seriously, if you can get Cora to cross over, you can get anybody in that place to cross over. That's huge. But with their new knowledge that they actually did know each other as sisters, like, beforehand, even though it was a short period of time, I think kind of breathed new hope and a new life into the fact that they're sisters now. And Regina actually made a surprising move and kind of accepted Zelina's feelings for Hades and was like, well, if anyone can change him, it'd be you. If anyone can make him go for the good, it would be you. So go for it, kiddo. Kind of a thing, which was cool. A couple of side notes. We had a little, kind of a mini face-off between David and his twin brother James, who was the original prince. And it essentially ends up with him getting, tased, and then James pretending to be David, and then them having a scuffle later that ended up with James in the river. I feel like there was a huge missed opportunity there. I feel like they could have had so much more fun with anything they could have done with David versus James. Like, it'd be almost like a David versus Goliath kind of situation, because his brother is dead, so he can't really kill him or anything. I feel like there was some missed opportunities there. I feel like they could have done more with that than what they ultimately did. So James is now officially out of, the picture. David's kind of bumming about it because he's like, yeah, but he was still my brother. Prince Charming. I don't know if I'm ever going to like him that much. The other thing is, Rumpel decides to do things his way because he's turning into kind of a dick. And we come to find out, he ends up working with his father, Peter Pan, and introduces Peter Pan to Zelina right before they put a bag over her head to keep her from meeting Hades for a date. We already know where this is going. He's probably going to try and use Zelina as leverage to get the, the contract for his baby up for Hades. It's pretty much very predictable at this point to see that, so that's kind of a bummer. But whatever. I guess we'll see how they play it out. We'll see what Hades does, how pissed off Hades is gonna get and wreck shit. So, honestly, if I were the crew, I would totally... You know what I would have done? Instead of scribbling off Snow's name and writing David's instead, I would have written Rumple's. Because why wouldn't you want him to stay down there? Like, fuck him at this point. Anyways, overall, I give it a B. I liked the Zelina Regina connection when they were children. I liked finding that out. I liked the fact that they somehow managed to redeem Cora, and she brought them together. I feel like they're really starting to step into that sisterly role to each other, which is cool. But I feel like there was too many missed opportunities with the David and James thing. I feel like you could have done a couple of episodes of them fighting each other, chasing each other, doing, random shit. And all of a sudden Rumple is needing his dad to help him with some stuff. I don't know. That part was kind of weak. And it was very random and quick. It's like quick blurb right at the beginning, quick blurb right at the end, and then there you are. So I give it a B. I don't have a line of the episode. It's just there was just too much going on for me to actually pick out anything specific. So, but yeah, give this episode a B. Can't wait to see next week. See how things turn up in episode 20. And of course, I'll be reviewing that as well. Look forward to, after this video post, I'll be posting my Game of Thrones review for episode 1 of season 6. So look forward to that. Hit that little red button down there that says subscribe, so you get that right away. You get notified when I do my reviews and unboxings. Tell me how you guys felt about the episode. Am I completely wrong with my grading? Did you like everything that happened? Did you like the David and James stuff? Regina versus Zelina? Anything like that? Feel free to leave a comment. I respond to all comments. And with that, I'll see you next time. Later, oncers.